वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। शृण्वतं सा कथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृदयन्तस्थो हि अभद्राणि विधुनोति सुरसतम्। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। So this is the chapter we are doing, right? Canto 3, chapter 16. The doorkeepers of Vaikuntha, Jaya and Vijaya cursed the sages, cursed by the sages. So we're going to the 5th verse. यन्नामनि च गृह्णन्ति लोको बृहति कृताघसि सो साधुवादस्तत्कृतिं हन्ति त्वं चम् इवामयः. Anyone would like to recite? Shanti Mataji, see you are raising hand.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yannamani cha krishnati loko bhrati kritaghasi tosaduvadastat kirtim andidvacham ivamaya.
You can read the translation also, Mataji.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A wrong act committed by a servant leads people in general to blame his master, just as a spot of white leprosy on any part of the body pollutes all of the skin.
Someone can read the purport? You can read the purport.
Divya Mataji.
Divya.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A Vaishnava therefore should be fully qualified. As stated in the Bhagavatam, anyone who has become a Vaishnava has developed all the good qualities of the demigods. There are 26 qualifications mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. A devotee should always see that his Vaishnava qualities increase with the advancement of his Krishna consciousness. A devotee should be blameless because any offense by the devotee is a scare on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The devotee's duty is to be always conscious in his dealings with others, especially with another devotee of the Lord. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams.
So, very nice instructions Srila Prabhupada is given in this purport for us. So, what we have to understand is like this is a section where the focus is on how Lord is actually apologizing to Kumaras. So imagine the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is apologizing on behalf of Jaya Vijaya that kind of misdeed, the act which they did, and he is coming forward and congratulating the sages, and then Lord is speaking like this, so he is understanding that Kumaras are actually in kind of mixed feelings. They thought they did a mistake also, unintentionally, but still Lord is pacifying them and he is apologizing them also. So he approves the mistake done by Jaya and Vijaya. Then he says they are my, they are doing their duty as a servant of the Lord. They are doing their duty, and then he's that's right. The offense has been done, and he is also approving the punishment given by the Kumaras, the Brahmanas. And then they are the devotees. I mean, they both Jaya Vijaya are devoted to the Lord. And now we see the Brahmanas, they are also very loved by the Lord. And then, he is showing his respect to the Brahmanas also. And then he says that, there is a disrespect on behalf of my servants, my attendants. Now, I consider this as an offense. And then he considers this offense as his offense only, not just his devotees' offense. Like, Lord is treating like that. And he is seeking forgiveness. And then Supreme Lord, we cannot imagine, the devotees of the Lord committing offense, and Lord himself is taking on to him. How the Lord can commit offense? We may think like that. If who can punish, the devotees of the Lord like that? So this is not possible. But what could be the reason you can think of that? We have discussed this in the previous verses. So if anyone can understand what could be the reason that who could punish the Lord? Anyone able to answer? Shubha Mataji, you raising hand to answer, or?
No, Mataji, for reading.
Mataji, please repeat the question once again.
Yeah, the question is that, Lord is now accepting this offense which is committed by his devotees, doorkeepers, and he is considering that offense as his own offense. And then he is also approving the punishment by the Brahmanas, and he is seeking forgiveness. How can Supreme Lord can commit an offense? Even if you do, who could punish the Supreme Lord? Like that, So what could we think of that? Any possible answer for that? How can...
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah,
Actually, Supreme Lord is the role model to all the living entities.
yeah.
So any mistakes committed by his own servants or devotees, that he himself taking the responsibility. So that is the greatness, as per my knowledge goes, Mataji.
Yeah, greatness and kindness of the Lord. So, as the purport translation, the verse translation says that the wrong act committed by the servants leads people in general to blame his master. Just as a spot of white leprosy on any part of the body pollutes all of the skin. So, this is the qualification of the Vaishnava. Like, the Lord, he is actually considering this, like you rightly said, Prabhuji, Krishnamurti Prabhu, that yes, like, if in a role of a parents also, this is what we come up to. Like, if any of our children don't behave properly or do some misdeed, then people will point out the parents first. Yeah. So that, if you see the fruit of the tree, you can identify, the greatness of the tree, like that. Yeah. So any, applause or accomplishments the children have done, then generally people will think about who are their parents, definitely. Yeah. So this is what, so things like that, Lord is, they are representing the Lord. Or Jaya Vijaya representing the Lord in doing the service to the Lord to please the Lord. Now, when someone representing the Lord, they need to be very careful and mindful. When we do or execute our duties, we have to be mindful. So, of course, Lord is confirming that, they have done the mistake, and then the curse is appropriate, and then he is actually taking up that, approving the punishment also. And like that, you see the relationship between parent and the children, student and the teacher. So this is like that, a guru and disciple, like that. So according to the purport, when we see this is qualifications of the Vaishnava has been given in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Automatically, if someone has a devotion to execute Lord's service, they will be advancing in their consciousness, and then they'll further develop, and then the purification starts from the day they start engage their senses, mind, and intelligence, everything in the service of the Lord. That's when it starts. And then when it starts, then the consciousness starts, transformation happens and changes, like that. So first quality a devotee should have is that devotion. So, and then that, enthusiasm, determination, and you constantly endeavor to serve the Lord, like that. So then among all the 26 qualities, this is the first one, primary, the topmost quality. And then automatically other qualities will manifest in a devotee. So that's how all the qualities of a Vaishnava, they develop all the good qualities like demigods. Yeah. So they don't serve the Lord for their own satisfaction. They serve the Lord for the pleasure of the Lord. And then they represent Lord so that they please the Lord better. So that's what they do. Yeah. So devotees constantly endeavor and then they want to serve the Lord. So this is the primary quality, that Sarupa Lakshanam of a devotee. That is, what is that? They will take the shelter of the Lord only. Krishneka Sharanam. So that's what they do. And then there is a secondary Tataksha Lakshanam is there. That is, they focus on other qualities are coming up automatically when they are serving the Lord in that mood. So their devotion is pure, then Lord will in any case protect the devotees. Yeah, that we'll see in the further verse, the 7th verse, detailing how Lord protects the devotees, what's the reason Prabhupada has given in the purport. But yeah, so they became pure in their devotion to serve the Lord. So like that, so devotees, first thing is that they look for serving the Lord. So they should always see that, the Vaishnava qualities are increasing because when they advance in Krishna consciousness, they see that. And these are the instructions actually given by Srila Prabhupada to us. There are 26 qualities mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. But the devotee, what 3 instructions he has given, if someone can read this, then those are the instructions Prabhupada has given. This is 3 instructions. Anyone can read it? Shobha Mataji, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam Mataji. Purport, right? Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Mataji, only the one which I'll highlighted this.
Okay, Mataji, okay. Can you raise the screen, Mataji? Okay. A devotee should always see that his Vaishnava qualities increase with the advancement of his Krishna consciousness. A devotee should be blameless because any offense by the devotee is a scar on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The devotee's duty is to be always conscious in his dealings with others, especially with another devotee of the Lord. Haribol, Dandat Pranam Mataji. Thank you.
Yeah, so this is what, the devotees should always see that, when they are advancing in Krishna consciousness, they should see that their qualities are increasing because what they desire to do is only to see the smile on the lotus face of the Lord. So because he's pleased by their activities and their actions, that's what they want. And then they should be blameless of any offense. Say, if you do something, you have to be careful, anything you do, you're representing your Guru Maharaj, and then anything will go on him, like that. So that should be the attitude of a devotee to take up any service opportunity. And then not leave any scar on your bona fide representatives, like that. So they should always be cautious in dealing with others, especially with other devotees. So in interacting with devotees when it comes to, serving the Lord and all, so you have to be, this is very important instructions Srila Prabhupada has given us. And we should be mindful of all this. And through the pastime, these are the lessons for us to learn from now. Jaya Vijaya committing an offense. They are doing their duty. Actually, they are not committing offense, but in the, in front of, in the eyes of these Brahmanas, 4 Kumaras, it looks like they have done a mistake because disrespect to the Brahmanas, like that. Yeah. So, but Lord is himself accepting that as his, servant's mistake as his own, and then he is approving the punishment, and then like that. Yeah? So, if you think of, a simple example, I will say that, these qualities are coming from the Lord only, and the devotees are serving the Lord, and all these nice qualities they're trying to develop. When we try to do, let's say if anyone, some services, everyone will be involved, like when you take about the example of deity worship. So deity worship, a devotee who is a pujari will work hard, in the sense, constantly meditate in decorating the Lord opulently. So but according to the standard of the temple and according to the situation, they do it not in a concocted way. But yeah, why do they decorate the Lord attractively? They want to look the Lord nicely, and then it's an opportunity for everyone else to take the darshan of the Lord and appreciate, and then they also become pleased and then surrender to the Lord like that. But is it necessary to decorate the Lord opulently? Don't we think that Lord is by naturally is opulent, right? We just we just buy because we want to serve the Lord, we do it. But it's not required for the Lord to decorate opulently. The servants are, trying to do this in dutifully because they are developing those qualities by doing that. When they are decorating the Lord, uh, the qualities of that, sincerity is coming in them, devotion is coming in them, like that. Yeah, so the benefit is to the pujari actually when they are decorating the Lord opulently, because they themselves are getting purified by doing like that. And then Lord is accepting the service of the pujari um, kindly. Though he don't require, though the pujari also not qualified enough sometimes, but they are in that mood serving the Lord. Oh, I'm not qualified, but still I want to do this for the pleasure of, I'm representing my guru, and for the pleasure of the Lord, I want to do. So in that process, the purification happens and the devotee will acquire quality. So the benefit is to the pujari. So similarly, if you look at oppositely looking at is that when you apply a tilak, you decorate your own body, you are applying tilak, and you are looking at the mirror. And what's happening? The reflection is happening in the mirror. So you are, you are decorating, you are putting tilak on your face, and you are seeing the reflection. So that, the forehead and what you see on the mirror is the reflection of you. Yeah. So are you not decorating to yourself? You're doing, right? So Supreme Personality of Godhead is actually, pleased with your devotion, with the sincere service you render. And already he is opulent. He don't need to be get decorated like that. But for the benefit of the servitor, he is accepting like that. Yeah. So only if you faithfully render the service to the Lord without any offenses, Lord will accept. Srila Prabhupada, says, is in a quote on Srila Prabhupada, he says that even path to the hell is paved with good intention. Even path to the hell is paved with good intention. Yeah, so that intention should be good. That sankalpa, it should be good in us. Yeah. So what we want to do is that we want to just serve the Lord in a peace mode and then develop those qualities. Like the good intention is important. But when we apply those qualities, then sometimes our intention is good, and when we apply that, we may get a bad result also. Sometimes it happens. And we don't blame others for that. So here, the intention of Jaya Vijaya was good because they are doing the duty as per the Lord's instruction. But the result has come up little in a different way. But in the eyes of the Lord, they are serving the Lord. They are pleasing the Lord only. But in the eyes of the Brahmanas, they are disrespecting. So this is the reason Lord, says that, okay, that's my offense. I consider it as a sense from my servitor's point of view, and he is very kind. And then also Jaya Vijaya understands the Lord's desire, because a Lord wanting to have that chivalrous rasa. Yeah, so he, with this kind of curse, they are getting it, Lord approving it, because they know better how to please the Lord. And the next step is what? Then they take up the different forms in like a demons in next 3 lives. They are actually pleasing the Lord, because no one can please the Lord in the kind of fighting or comeback they do the Lord. So this is something they are satisfied also, the Jaya Vijaya, and a Lord is in that mode. If you serve nicely, that whether honor or dishonor coming, but pleasing the Lord in whichever way Lord is happy, they want to do it like that. So we need to cultivate these Vaishnava qualities as stated in this purport. These are the lessons to learn. The devotee should always, increase the qualities in them while they are advancing in Krishna consciousness. They should become blameless, because any offense by the devotee is going to a scar on the representative of the Lord and the Lord like that. And then devotee's duty is to be very careful in dealing with other Vaishnavas, because they are also part and parcel of the Lord. In every one of us, we see, Paramatma feature of the Lord is there. So like that. So for all of this, what is the key for all of this? Attain good Vaishnava qualities. It's a solution. Anyone wants to answer?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, my one small clarification at your end.
Yeah.
Once if we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you will become the devotee. Are you
Yeah.
accept? Yes. Is it Mataji?
Yeah, you consider as a
So,
devotee. Chaitanya
yes.
Mahaprabhu said.
No. So, the devotee's duty is to be always conscious in his dealings with others.
Yeah.
You shall we break that point there? Then if we think of the another devotees. So especially we are dealing with the materialistic, always in materialistic people. They were not the devotees majority. So if we commit, if we lost our consciousness, we will be that affects the Supreme Lord. So this is the only key point for us. So we year afterwards, next moment alone, we must be very cautious in dealings with the others. Then devotees, automatically devotees also in the same mode, and we are also same in the mode, that may not so affect.
That's
Whereas,
right.
whereas particularly in the materialistic world with others, we must be very, very fully
Conscious. Yeah.
very
That's right.
careful. This is the lesson to be taken by us, and it is to be adapted in our personal lives.
That's
This is
right.
the major lesson. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
It's true. Which you have to. Otherwise, how can you represent Prabhupada's moment? You have to be like that. When situations are not, if someone is offending the Lord, then you cannot be nice to them. But when you are there, in general, this is what you said is correct. And then for us to develop that kind of, being cautious in our dealings with others and even with the devotees, we need to have good association of the devotees. That's the key. If you don't have good association of the devotees, to develop that quality is hard. Like you said, you always, interact with a lot of materialistic people. But our interaction with devotees should be more. Then, as and when you have to, we cannot avoid interacting with materialistic people, but our majority of our time should be associated with devotees. Then, when we try to, interact with the non-devotees, automatically that things will manifest, because we are always in the association of the devotees, like that. Yeah. So we'll go to the next thing, because sincerity is very important in our applying all these lessons in our life. And these are instructions are very important for us. One who properly attentively serve Krishna, properly in that mood of devotion, Krishna will give intelligence to them so that they will not commit these. But in the case of Jaya Vijaya, Lord himself wanted them to take this different births, so that he is going to have, now he's getting bored actually. He wants to have chivalrous rasa and he wants to go out and have some fun. So that's the reason also he's approving that punishment and let them go now. And then Jaya Vijay also understood the reason for Lord's approval, like that. Yeah? So we'll go to the next verse now. Anybody wish to read this verse?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Can I read?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, yes,
Can I?
Mataji. Yes, please read, Mataji.
Yasyamritam
Yes.
malayasha. Oh, you're reading and you read.
Yeah,
Mataji,
Mataji.
one of
If you
you
want
can
to
read
read, you read,
purport and
Mataji. No issues. Continue.
Okay, Hare Krishna. यस्यामृतामलयशश्रवणावताः सद्या पुनाति जगदश्वपचात् विकुण्ठः सोऽहं भवत्य उपलब्धसुतीर्थकीर्ति चिन्त्यां स्वबाहुम् अपि वः प्रतिकूलवृत्तिम्. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Anyone in the entire world, even down to the Chandala, who lives by cooking and eating the flesh of the dog, is immediately purified if he takes part in hearing through the ear the glorification of my name, fame, etc. Now you have realized me without doubt. Therefore, I will not hesitate to lop off my own arm if its conduct is found hostile to me. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Mataji, who else? The other Mataji wants to read the verse, can read the purport. I
Hare
will.
Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Read
According
something.
to the order, am I coming, Mataji? Narayani Mataji or Janvi Mataji? Can you
Yeah.
please advise? Okay. Purport by His Divine Grace, His Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Real purification can take place in human society if its members take to Krishna consciousness. This is clearly stated in all Vedic literature. Anyone who takes to Krishna consciousness in all sincerity, even if he is not very advanced in good behavior, is purified. A devotee can be recruited from any section of human society, although it is not expected that everyone in all segments of society is well behaved. As stated in this verse and in many places in Bhagavad Gita, even if one is not born in a Brahmana family, or even if he is born in a family of Chandalas, if he simply takes to Krishna consciousness, he is immediately purified. In Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, verses 30-32, it is clearly stated that even though a man is not well behaved, if he simply takes to Krishna consciousness, he is understood to be a saintly person. As long as a person is in this material world, he has two different relationships in his dealings with others. One relationship pertains to the body, and the other pertains to the spirit. As far as bodily affairs or social activities are concerned, although a person is purified on the spiritual platform, it is sometimes seen that he acts in terms of his bodily relationships. If a devotee born in a family of a Chandala, the lower caste, is sometimes found engaged in his habitual activities, he is not to be considered a Chandala. In other words, a Vaishnava should not be evaluated in terms of his body. The Shastra states that no one should think the deity in the temple to be made of wood or stone, and no one should think that a person coming from a lower caste family who has taken to Krishna consciousness is still of the same low caste. These attitudes are forbidden because anyone who takes to Krishna consciousness is understood to be fully purified. He is at least engaged in the process of purification, and if he sticks to the principle of Krishna consciousness, he will very soon be fully purified. The conclusion is that if one takes to Krishna consciousness with all seriousness, he is to be understood as already purified, and Krishna is ready to give him protection by all means. The Lord assures herein that he is ready to give protection to his devotee, even if there is need to cut off part of his own body. Hare Krishna. Very nice purport, Mataji. I just
Beautiful
remembered
purport.
Haridas Thakur.
Yeah, because I was remembering, I was wanting to read this purport, just don't want to read highlighted because such a beautiful purport of Srila Prabhupada. So many nice, important points for all of us to meditate on. So what Prabhupada, in the translation, what is given in the verse is that, entire world, even from Chandala to someone who is, eating the flesh of the dog, they get purified just by hearing. So importance of Shravanam is mentioned in this purport, which is the first anga of Navavidha Bhakti, Shravanam. So we all have to constantly do that through the glorification of the name, fame, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord. Without any doubt, Lord will actually, he will be sold to us. He will do everything, whatever we want. I mean, we are totally under his control. Like that. In the sense that even if something happens to us, if it is not favorable to our personal situation, still the devotees don't stop doing devotional activities, devotional service, because they don't consider it as a some kind like Jaya Vijaya don't consider here as a curse of the Brahmana as a great thing for them to experience. They are not in a lamenting state actually. Yeah, so that and Lord is telling there's he is ready to give off his part of his body, cut off my own arm like that, so to protect the devotee. What does that mean? Means he is there with them, and that kind of harshly, we can see this is a harsh thing from side of the Lord, but this is what Lord is showing his affection to the Jaya Vijaya, that he is ready to even give his and then this Jaya Vijaya getting the curse is like some part of his body is being is being cut off like that, because they are being now order to go to the material planet, and then they will enact the Leela. And this is actually, Lord is arranged this because there is one another pastime connected to this. Maybe you all know this, but just try to share it, because one time Lord wanting to take rest. He want to sleep. He doesn't sleep like all of us, but he want to take rest. And then he told to Jaya Vijaya that don't allow anybody to enter inside. And he instructed them to do that. They have to do their duty as servants of the Lord, sincere servants of the Lord. They are doing. And then at that point of time, Lakshmi Devi comes. When Lakshmi Devi enters, they stopped her. They say, no, you can't enter now. Lord is sleeping, taking rest. You are not allowed to go. She got really offended, like, what is this? I want to go, because she's also eternally serving the Lord. She's doing menial services, cleaning all the Vaikunta every time, and massaging the lotus feet of the Lord, and she's not allowed inside, and she is thinking, what kind of servants are they, like that. And then when Lord wakes up, that was very quick snap for the Lord. He wakes up, and then she enters, and then she complains to the Lord that they didn't allow me to come inside, and they're not doing their service properly. They should allow me to come inside. And she expresses her unhappiness that they didn't do their service properly, and she wanting to also punish them. So this is like because of this reason also, Lord wanted to fulfill the desire of her, and then the Kumaras at that point came, and then that's the Leela of the Lord to happen, so that they get cursed, and then Vijaya went to material planets to enact that pastimes. And that in a way, Lord is also trying to accommodate everybody's desires, like that. Yeah. So this is one more reason. And then one has to sincerely take up Krishna consciousness and advance. Yeah, so just by taking up Krishna consciousness, just by hearing to Krishna Katha, the glorification of the Lord's name and fame, they get purified. That's what Prabhupada says in the purport. So then they are, they understand the importance of being in, saintly association, and then they simply take us to Krishna conscious, because he will understand that the relationship between him is there. That is the relationship between the body and between the spirit. So these bodily affairs are there to do day-to-day activities, and then when person is purified, he will be on the spiritual platform, and he has got a different relationship with the Lord. He has different duties. So like that. And when it comes to Lord's protection, a devotee born in any particular caste, creed, religion, nothing, we don't consider about anything. Any family is born from the lowest caste of Chandala. If they are engaged in the service of the Lord will consider, and then he is elevated in a position where he is from. That's what Srila Prabhupada is giving us, all of us, an opportunity to raise above these platforms, that we can come to one, one family where we can become Vasudeva Kutumbam and where we can serve the Lord without any previous connections with our previous what family knots, like that. Yeah. So and someone mood should be that they should not, like how Prabhupada says that Shastra states no one should think deity in the temple to be made of wood or stone. No one should think like that. A person coming from lower caste family, this, that, and all. Someone has come in touch of the Lord, that's it. Even if you take the spark of the speck of the lotus feet of the Lord, if you get in contact with the Lord, you will get liberated with all the sins. That's it. So, Lord is actually doing for demons, he is killing and liberating. For devotees, he is saving and liberating. So, if devotees are getting some kind of troubles, that's because it's a special mercy of the Lord. That's it. We have to consider. So we don't think about the person's previous background when they come in contact with Krishna consciousness. That's it. From there, their purification already started, and then perfection is continued. Step by step, the perfection happens. So Lord is not showing any partiality in terms of their caste or in terms of their previous births, everything. As soon as you come in contact with him, that's it. You belong to him. That's it, like that. Yeah. So we get purified and we engage in the process like that. And then what conclusion Prabhupada says is that in Krishna consciousness, with all seriousness, one has to understand that we are getting purified, each and every aspect of Krishna conscious activities. And Krishna is ready to give protection to everybody by all means. We see from the pastimes of how Lord is, Bhakta Vatsala, and he protected everybody from the pages of Shrimad Bhagavatam. We see like how what is Ambarish Maharaj is being saved by Durvasa Muni's angry, and Lord protected him. How in another context when Yashodamai, she's totally immersed in love and affection for the Lord, and then she wants to bind Krishna, but she was not able to. But Krishna has to withdraw all his Ichha Shakti so that she can bind him. And he was pleased with the affection and love of the Yashodamai so that she can do that. So like that, sincerity is what Lord sees in all of us. And when you take up to Krishna consciousness, and then we slowly get purified, and Lord is always there to give protection for every devotee. And now here he is also assuring to Jaya Vijaya that he's going to give them protection. And he is ready to cut off the part of his body to give the protection. That means he's assuring them that wherever they go, and then they got a boon also that they will not be forgetting the Lord wherever they are. So in every situation they are remembering the Lord in whichever way, like either in a revengeful way or in a way where they are prayerfully. But all these pastimes they have taken up in Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Shishupala, and Kamsa. They are all remembering the Lord, and they are trying to serve the Lord in that mood where Lord is happy with them, and they are getting delivered also like that. Yeah. So and Mataji, who has pointed out about Haridas Thakur, which is aptly right, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so compassionate to him, though he is coming from a Muslim background, and he is none other than Brahma. You just think about like that, but he's been given a very namacharya position, and we all take his as a acharya, where we can try to chant, thinking of his example in that mood, how he has accomplished and set an example for all of us. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to visit Puri temple after taking the darshan of the Lordships. Directly he used to go to Haridas Thakur and he meet him and take his association like that. So in that terms of even the Chandala family, born in a family of Chandala lower caste also, if they are engaged in the activities, Lord is there to protect. So that is what we are trying to understand from this verse. Yeah. And see, in a material world, we have, we can commit offenses. But think about Vaikuntha. Again, any possibility to commit any offenses on the part of Jaya Vijaya? That is not going to happen. There's no Vaikuntha, there is no distress. So who will commit offenses? And but Jaya Vijaya's, acting like that is only to please the Lord, nothing else. No? And God is also doing everything on their behalf. We'll go to the 7th verse. Anyone wish to read this verse?
Sindhu Mataji. Krishnamurti Prabhu.
I can't hear
Hare Krishna
Mataji.
Mataji. Shall I read?
Yeah, read.
Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Signal is low, I think. Hare Krishna.
Now
Yes.
you're audible, Mataji.
Yatsevaya
Okay,
charana
Mataji.
You can read the
Yes.
purpose, Mataji.
Yatsevaya
Yeah,
charana
sure, Mataji.
यत्सेवया चरणपद्मपवित्ररेणुं सद्यक्षता किल मलं प्रतिलब्धशीलं न श्रीर्विरक्तमपि मां विजहाति यस्याः प्रेक्षालवार्तैतरे नियमन् सारी माताजी प्रेक्षालवार्तैतरे नियमान् वहन्ति. हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
I'll read Mataji, Shloka.
Yeah, read the translation. You there, Mataji?
Is there some
Yeah,
problem?
yes, Mataji.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Read,
Mataji.
read,
There is a
read.
pause, like I think voice break.
Read Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord continued, because I am the servitor of my devotees, my lotus feet have become so sacred that they immediately wipe out all sins, and I have acquired such a disposition that the goddess of fortune does not leave me, even though I have no attachment for her, while others praise her beauty and observe sacred oaths to secure from her even a slight favor. Read the purport.
Channa Mataji will read, Mataji. Channa Mataji.
Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavata Pranams. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The relationship between the Lord and his devotee is transcendently beautiful. As the devotee thinks that it is due to being a devotee of the Lord that he is elevated in all good qualities, so the Lord also thinks that it is because of his devotion to the servitor that all his transcendental glories have increased. In other words, as the devotee is always anxious to render service to the Lord, so the Lord is ever anxious to render service to the devotee. The Lord admits herein that, although he certainly has a quality that anyone who receives a slight particle of the dust of his lotus feet becomes at once a great personality, this greatness is due to his affection for his devotees. It is because of this affection that the goddess of fortune does not leave him, and that not only but many thousands of goddess of fortune engage in his service. In the material world, simply to get a little favor from the goddess of fortune, people observe many rigid regulations of austerity and penance. The Lord cannot tolerate any inconvenience on the part of devotees. He is therefore famous as Bhakta Vatsala. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji, for reading. So, yeah, here you see what the translation is giving us, when the, is because I am the servitor of my devotees, my lotus feet has become so sacred. So, what Krishna is telling here is that he's so kind that, he's treating demons and devotees equally in the first instance, that demons is, same platform they are. Demons is killing and liberating, and devotees is saving and protecting, like that. And then universally, you may see it, that Krishna is kind by nature, But how we see Krishna is kind by nature. You see, his potency of, it is increasing. His potency of that kindness is increasing by the affection of the devotees, love and affection of the devotees. His reciprocation, that way it is increasing. So the relationship of the Lord and the devotee is like that, transcendently beautiful, because you want to serve the Lord in the same way Lord is also wanting to take your service. It's not that, Lord, without that service, Lord will not get anything. Like, you want to offer something like patram pushpam phalam, or, whatever bhoga you do, it doesn't mean that Lord don't have that day to eat because you are not offering. He is accepting that because you have the devotion, so he is accepting that. And in a similar way, he is reciprocating, giving the remnants to you so that you taste that, prasad. So that there's a exchange of relationship is there, loving, beautiful exchange of relationship is there. So when the devotees are serving the Lord in that mood, with love and devotion, Lord's potency to give the mercy is increasing because of the affection of the devotees. Like that, he's telling, yeah. So I am the servitor of my devotees. My lotus feet has become so sacred that all, just by the touch of the lotus feet, or, dust of the at the lotus feet of the Lord, you just touch it, immediately all the sins are gone. So like that, you see, if you go to, like, recently I visited all the holy dhams, especially when you go to the Puri, the pandas are really eagerly looking forward to do some favor for you, so that, you give some dakshina to them, but you're also getting the mercy of the Lord. And then, I got a special, because of one Prabhuji from Bhuvaneshwar temple. Brahmachari is actually into the management, and he helped us. We know him personally, so he took us to the temple. And then he generally supplies chandan to the deities. Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. So that head pujari asked him to get some chandan, good quality chandan. So that day he is carrying, and he said, okay, I'll come and I'll also take darshan along with you. So he came, and maybe you would have also got the opportunity, but he took us to the Utsava deities, where, Ananta Vasudev, Yogamaya, and Vasudeva there, in this much size, gold deities, small deities. And these are the deities, they have to rest in the Puri temple. And then, that place where, inside the temple, little bit you climb up, and that's where they are there. So some devotees would have also taken the darshan, and that is Lord, when they decorate him with gold ornaments after, the Ratha Yatra festival, Sona Bedvesh, that time, all those ornaments are there, and, the Jagannath's gold feet. So we got an opportunity to massage and, pay obeisances to the feet of the Lord, which they use it as an, ornament for the Lord, and during the festival, that festival. So it's like, we were intending to take good darshan of the Lord, so that this brahmachari, will be avoiding pandas trouble, and we'll go nicely. And we had only 1.5 days, so we wanted to have darshan of the Lord peacefully. That's the main intention, but we could get more than what we expected that day. I didn't imagine I would take darshan 4 times in one day. And 4 times was just going inside, not just outside, inside, and almost just, next to the panda. In front of me, only pandas, that barricade is there, and after the lordships, that's all. Yeah. And it was really, first time in the morning and in the afternoon, and in the night at 9 o'clock, full Alankarana was there. And we went back, but I couldn't exit, and I had to come inside again, the queue. They stopped because of some reason that day. They stopped anyone coming from outside. So I couldn't exit. I entered again. When I entered again, it's there undressing the Lord. And then I could see that, what do you say, that the darshan which you see the Lord's, I could see the hands of the Lord. It's so beautiful. And I'm like, in the end, I stayed. Everyone is in the front, that batch which they released. I'm in the end. So in the end, there's no push from behind. So you can just stay on the, where in the end, I couldn't see. I couldn't stand on a high level where everyone is little down. Wanting to see how they are dressing generally, I get an opportunity to dress Lord Jagannath here. So I wanted to, they are doing in front of everyone. They're removing little bit, ornaments, garlands, all, the major clothes. And inside what wrapped with the Lord, that was there, but the red cloth was there. But other things they are removing, and we could see the feature of the Lord. So that Lord, that feature is really so beautiful. I can't forget. It's almost 10 o'clock in the night, and it's so satisfying that day. Full. I just thought only take one time darshan. Lord gave 4 times darshan. So this is what, the relationship between the Lord and I'm not that pure or great devotee, but the intention what I'm talking about is there. If you have that pure intention to anywhere, whatever you go, wherever you go, Lord will, help you to get that. And then that will, that devotion and that servitor attitude of the Lord, and then the devotee's affection and love for the Lord automatically will, Lord's mercy will increase like that. So the reciprocation you see. So here also in the translation you see that everybody will, immediately wipe out all the sins, but I have acquired such a disposition that a goddess of fortune does not leave me. And Lord is also pointing out that goddess of fortune, many people, seek fortune, goddess of fortune's mercy. They ask for so many boons which are little temporary, and they don't understand that they are after her. But she is not after them. She is just after the Lord. And she is like, no attachment for all those people who are praising and, glorifying and worshipping her for small, small things. For slight favor, they are doing it, but she is not after all that. And she is just behind the Lord. Because, the greatness of the Lord's, what is that? Potency of Lord's delivering is such a capacity is increasing each and every time when the devotees are worshipping and serving him. So the quality that they receive, the mercy of the Lord is increasing. So that greatness is due to the affection of the devotee only, and that affection is, because of that only goddess of fortune is not living, because that is what is there with the Lord, and then like that. So not leaving him now, not only, but thousands of goddess of fortunes are also, wanting to engage in the service of the Lord. Yeah. So we also see from the past time that when gopis are engaged with the Lord, and Lord, goddess of fortune wanting to come there also, but she was in a different mood, and she was worshipping the Lord in awe and reverence mode. So that's why she was not allowed to enter into this pastime. But yeah, so what it is mentioned in the purport is that in the material world, everyone is simply getting little favor from goddess of fortune, because they are trying to, worship her, to doing some austerities and penances, getting some mundane benefits or boons. But this devotees of the Lord, they are tolerating so many inconveniences, and Lord cannot tolerate any inconveniences on the part of the devotees, and he is happily serving the Lord as he's a Bhakta Vatsala, like I mentioned earlier, how he was protecting Ambarish Maharaj, and also, showing his, bind by the Yashodamai's love, like that. So these qualities are manifested in devotees, and when they are serving the Lord with that loving mood, Lord's potency is increasing, so that he can also shower the mercy more than what the devotees are expecting, like that. Yeah, so that's the main thing, where the key in this is that the Lord is, because of the devotees' affection, Lord's mercy is increasing to everybody, and Lord is also anxious to serve the devotees in a similar way, how devotees are anxious to serve him, like that. Yeah, so we'll stop here. If anyone has anything to share or any questions, if I'm able to answer, I will answer.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Padma Mataji, yeah, go on.
Mataji,
Yes.
just a short question. Maybe I didn't hear it properly. Just now you said when you all went to Puri, you all got some seva. Was it that you all got the opportunity to wash the Lord's lotus feet?
Not wash lotus feet of the Lord. I got the opportunity to take the darshan of the deities, which are generally, they are Utsava deities. They are the deities which are put to rest every day.
Okay.
Like the main deities are rest in the sense they close the altar for a few hours, but these deities are gold deities, and they are small deities which they put to rest during the night time, and then the ornaments and all other paraphernalia of the Lord which they use after Sthana Yatra, that Sonabedi festival.
Yeah.
Those were there, and then I could get opportunity. We all, our family, we got opportunity to touch the lotus feet. I mean, that golden feet of the Lord.
Okay, okay.
Massage that feet of the Lordship. So because of Prabhuji's mercy, we could get. That's what I shared.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavat Pranams, Mataji. Mataji, I just wanted to share something, Mataji. Mataji, actually, since the class is on Vaishnava Aparadha, so we are all into the path of bhakti. The goal is only one. We have to attain the lotus feet of the Lord. So knowingly or unknowingly, we might hurt somebody. So Mataji, we will be very cautious because our chanting will get halted, Mataji. We won't be able to progress. So we will be very conscious not to hurt anybody. So we'll always be thinking about that. So I just want that, Mataji, like what I feel, Mataji, I'm just sharing. So before doing that also, if we have any ill feeling or because we are all humans, we are not very perfect, or because we'll get it, Mataji. We think about somebody and we'll get that ill feeling. Oh, she didn't do this. Oh, some kind of negative. So I just feel that. So when that thought comes, we just have to stop and pray for the Lord and forgive them and then move on. So I think it will be easier for us to go in the path of Bhakti, Mataji. So then we'll be very cautious each and every step. So as soon as the thought comes, we have to stop and pray for the Lord and ask for His mercy, and we should be able to forgive them. So this is what I wanted to share, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
That's right. Very nice point, Mataji. That's what, in the Kali Yuga, this is what we have, the special mercy. We thinking doesn't have whatever mentally we are thinking will not manifest. So at least that will not consider as offense, at least, unless you act. So like the point you mentioned that, as soon as you thought and that thought process, you stopped it just by praying to the Lord, is beauty of that. You rectified yourself immediately before it manifest. So which is good. That's what we are supposed to do. Of course, we are in a platform where, this kind of things will keep on coming. But checking ourselves is what we are getting purified. So Lord is there in our heart. Like you rightly mentioned that the Lord is there in our heart. He is always hearing, watching, doing everything within our heart. So this is also He's noticing what you are thinking and what you are doing. So, which is good. Like, if the child commits any mistake and before parent correct, the child is only correcting, parent will be happy. Parent will need not do any chastisement, right? So parent will not punish or, go beyond their, feelings. They will unconditionally love. So like that, Lord also will forgive us.
So nice, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Okay, so there is a small announcement that on 1st and 2nd February, there will be a home deity worship class by one Prabhu, one guest speaker. So this was the demand of many devotees. So I thought that you should be prepared with all your questions, and you should be prepared with and keep these 2 dates in your diary that you have to attend, 1st and 2nd of February. Haribol.
Thank you, Mataji. Wonderful.
Yeah. So, Chintamani Prabhu. We will take last question, Mataji. Chintamani Prabhu.
Yeah, no problem.
He has a question. Yeah.
Yeah, Mataji, for that class, do I need to do some homework before I attend?
For DT worship class, Prabhu, it will not be a proper DT worship class, but it will be mostly as how we are doing deity worship at home. Because at home and at temple, there is a difference. Rules and regulations is like little bit lineal, and, not that, tough. So it will be a home deity worship class, Prabhu. Now, how much you want to ask, you can ask from the guest speaker. That's why I informed so that you people can note down your questions. And if Prabhu will cover in that class, well and good. If not covering, you people can ask that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Mataji, who is the speaker you said, Mataji? I didn't get it.
Speaker is Mataji, that is always a suspense.
Okay, that's fine. okay.
Good suspense.
Yeah. Don't worry, Mataji. We have good speaker. So I hope that.
Mataji, I don't know. I was just asking, Mataji. I thought you
it's
said
okay.
the
I can
speaker's name, so
understand the
that is why.
curiosity, Mataji. I can understand.
Okay.
No problem. Yeah. Okay. So we'll end the session. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Janvi Jivan Mataji. Now, this is our fortune or good luck that all our regular devotees, yesterday Parmeshwar Prabhu was there, today you are there. So all are coming back, and we are really happy to get this opportunity to associate with you people again. And yeah, very happy, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Kripa sindhubhye vacha patitanam pavanebhyo Anant Koti Vaishnavindi ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Shall I end the session, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.